Hey. Time for another out-of-this-world story from rSpace. Got ravaged by my wife's continuous emotional cheating. Hey folks, I've been lurking here for some time, looking for advice and following stories to see how they develop. Well, I decided to share my own, hoping someone who is in similar shoes can pick up on things I kept my eyes closed to. My story definitely pales compared to some other poor souls here. We don't have kids, just a dog and a vehicle together. I, 30 male, have been married to 23 female for almost 3 years. It's been mostly great with some downs. We traveled extensively and made so many great memories. My wife was working at a coffee shop before the pandemic, and she met her affair partner there about 1.5 years ago. He was a customer, and from what I've unearthed, I don't have tangible reasons to believe anything serious was going on back then. Probably some flirting. I guess this seems serious now. They did social media, Instagram, and kept minimal contact, probably texting once every couple of months. I had no reason to suspect anything at this point. I should mention that we were on the road traveling with the idea to move to a different state. They didn't have physical contact. Fast forward to mid-February. They are texting more often, and he gives her his phone number, saying he's there if she needs to talk. Seems like this is when the emotional affair began, as she took him up on the offer and saved his number under a false name of a girl coworker I knew. In the next couple of days, the texting intensifies, and things are off between us. She's extremely sour. It didn't make sense why. On 2 occasions, I'm being lied to that she's calling her parents and goes away for an hour. I got suspicious, as she usually doesn't have a reason to leave my presence to talk to them. I pulled up the call history from our shared phone bill, and the number didn't match. That's when I decided to go through her phone and discovered the Instagram messages and everything thereafter. I was in complete shock. Took some screenshots and confronted her in the morning. Mind you, we signed a year-long lease right before this whole thing came out. For the next few days, I did the pick-me dance and was met with a whole lot of gaslighting. How bad she's been feeling and how I wasn't really there for her. None of that excuses emotional cheating, and I knew that back then. When I tried to set some basic boundaries, she pushes back. It was so hard to let go of her, so naturally, I was looking for options to keep her and fight for our marriage. After all, it's not like they've slept. I recognized some of my shortcomings and decided that I can work on myself and support her more. We moved into the apartment and spent thousands on furniture. All the while, I couldn't trust her. I kept demanding to check her phone, and for the next 2 weeks, I found on 5 or 6 occasions that she's either unblocked him or she's put WhatsApp so that she doesn't leave a trace on the phone bill. We go through these episodes every 3 days, and after every time, I'm more broken. At one point, I spent a whole day in bed without eating at all. She keeps convincing me we can heal. Stupid me. At one point, after we've made up again, she tells me that she doesn't see us being together forever. Thanks for the honesty. But why do you keep wasting my time then? I guess a little more story wouldn't hurt, and if someone made it that far, they deserve to get the dessert. I was supposed to go to a meeting one day and left the house. Checking my phone, the meeting's been canceled, so I head back. I was gone for 15 minutes, but I had a hunch that I had to check the phone again. She unblocked and texted him. At this point, I'm ready to call it quits. I'm hanging in the house for the next 2 days because I have nowhere else to go. Was a wreck, and obviously she felt bad about me. On the second day of me sleeping on the couch, she comes in the morning with proof she finally made some kind of effort without me asking her. She texted him that she can't handle the shame and guilt and he shouldn't be texting her anymore. She shows me that and we make up again. She deleted the WhatsApp again, and for the next 2 days, it was a real sense of normalcy, and I got what I actually needed. She put some effort into this. Well, on the 3rd day, I decided to walk the dog, but was also paranoid. I put WhatsApp on my phone and stalk her online status. I'm not even 5 minutes out of the house, and she's on. And that was it, folks. I slept in my van that night. We spoke in the morning. I didn't get any sensible answers. She finally said she had feelings for him. I put my essentials in the van and left her. She begged me to go back, but now it's been 4 days and I'm 1,000 miles away. I'm really lonely and have been crying sporadically. I had a weak moment today and contacted her. It was so stupid. Now the wound is fresh again. I'm divorcing her, but don't want to get lawyers involved for financial reasons. I've been on Chump Lady, and that's a great resource. I'm having trouble sleeping and eating regularly, but I work out and stay hydrated. I hope to feel better soon. This crap sucks. Thanks for reading. I just had to get it off of my chest. Peace and good luck, people. Take care of yourselves. Nobody else will. Let's get some reaction before we move on to that update. Kindly Idea 2333 says, I have to point out the obvious. You don't know what she did or if they had sex. Your first hint was this. Seems like this is when the emotional affair began, as she took him up on the offer and saved his number under a false name of a girl coworker I knew. In the next couple of days, the texting intensifies and things are off between us. She's extremely sour. She was hiding it under a false name. The only reason to hide something is if there is something wrong about it. It is affecting your relationship, so there is something there that is pretty much an emotional affair or physical affair. You know this, which is why you felt something was off, and the activity confirms this. And was met with a whole lot of gaslighting? If your partner has a problem with something you've done to hurt them, and your response is a gaslight and blame shift, there is no actual remorse or even pretend remorse. She's put WhatsApp so that she doesn't leave a trace on the phone bill. More hiding it. She got caught, so she hid it better. She deleted the WhatsApp again, and for the next 2 days it was a real sense of normalcy, and I got what I actually needed. She put some effort into this. Well, on the third day, I decided to walk the dog but was also paranoid. I put WhatsApp on my phone and stalked her online status. I'm not even 5 minutes out of the house and she's on. That is what you had to work with. There was no relationship to save. Only more and more pain and betrayal. But you understand the relationship was dead. You can't trust her, and at that point, if she is having an emotional affair and or physical affair, it doesn't matter because you can't believe anything she says. I can relate. My ex left me gaslighting me and blame shifting me as the bad guy. About a month later, she was getting back with her ex. I don't know when it happened, but there was things I could have picked up that indicated as she broke up with me, another guy was there. There was an awkward sexual encounter where she seemed scared of getting caught. I never saw it that way at the time because I didn't know there was another guy. And she was afraid of that violent, abusive ex, and finding sperm traces after she visited me would have set him off if he found out. I hate to say this, but she definitely had sex with the guy. I can't say what her endgame was, but my impression is she wanted sex and ego stroking from him and financial and public support from you. You will find better in the future. There are good women out there. Time for that update. It's now been over 4 months since D-Day and about 3 months since I left. If you read my last post, you know that I left my soon-to-be ex-wife for 2 weeks so I can clear my head. Upon returning to our apartment with the pretext of picking up some of my furniture, we started discussing what we should do. The first thing I noticed was that she had taken off her ring. At this time, I was able to get on her phone and witnessed a 2-week-long conversation between her and the affair partner. My heart stiffened. They were developing a relationship, watching movies, exchanging letters, postcards, and had made plans to meet. I can really expand on the hurtful remarks they were discussing regarding me, but I don't think it's conducive to the main topic. This post is about me and how I am dealing with my pain. I decided this is all I needed to know and printed the divorce papers. We filled them out and I left shortly thereafter. I took the dog, as she said she's not fit to be a dog parent. Couldn't agree more, and wouldn't pass up the opportunity to take my child. I went back to the town we moved to together 2 years ago. I didn't want to do it, but it was my best choice as I had a good friend there who provided a supportive environment. It got better for a while. I spent 2 months there. I tried dating and went out with some women, but it became clear that I wasn't ready to move on just yet. I think it still helped me in a way, as I realized that even in my broken state, I was able to talk to and attract potential partners. This gave me a much needed boost to my self-esteem. I decided to stop dating as I felt bad for leading people on. I don't feel ready for another relationship. I picked up some hobbies. One completely new, and one other that I haven't dabbled in for over 5 years. This also helped me to take my mind off the trauma. I tried to take care of myself and made a routine where I'd cook myself 2 meals a day. Not every day, but most. I made some new friends. The affair partner was also living in town, and lo and behold, she moves back to live with her mother so that she could close the gap. Got back to the same deadbeat job she met affair partner at. I decided I wouldn't bear the chance of seeing them together on the street. I've already struggled to suppress my hateful thoughts of getting revenge, so I had to move on, someplace new. This is also something that helped my psyche. Make plans of my own, not take anyone else into consideration. It was a liberating feeling. I spent a long time strategizing. Where do I want to settle down, and did extensive research. I decided to get on the road again and visit some national parks along the way and move to my city of choice. Well, Here's the kicker. As soon as I left, I felt this immense loneliness, more lonely than when I went away for 2 weeks back in April. I couldn't lean on my family and friends anymore. Well, at least not as much. It's been 4 months, and I felt like people are getting tired of my crap. So I bottled it up. I kept doing my hobbies, but again, the loneliness kind of trumped all the progress. It's been really tough. I visited such beautiful places, and it's been a painful reminder of what could have been if I had a partner to share the moments with. I try to engage with people around me. Many times when I see lovely couples, my tears come up. It's a strange feeling. I'm happy for them, and I'm sad about myself. Sometimes in the evening, I just hug my dog, talk to him and cry. He licks my tears. Days are empty. I find myself sometimes just existing. I have no desire to do anything. I tried reading and I can't focus. In many ways, I feel like I've regressed. Then, I remind myself that healing is a non-linear process. I know it's temporary and time heals, but that just doesn't keep me afloat. I'm in a pickle. I want to heal myself by myself. I've always done things by myself, and this is no different. I know that once I'm past this pain, I will come out the other end a refined and stronger person. I look forward to this day. Let's see if we can get some support from the community. Sampa2NYC says, I think that you should re-enter the dating scene sooner than later. Not everyone is looking for their forever when they are on these dating apps, and as long as you are honest with potential partners, I think you will be okay. You may find a few friends with benefits. You never know. Glad you got to keep the dog. At least they loved you unconditionally. You are correct. Healing is a non-linear process, and you will get through this. Also, I applaud you for being proactive in your healing. Keep doing what you're doing and moving forward. Time will take care of the rest. You're only 30 for God's sake. As far as the age goes, I think it's clear that your soon-to-be ex-wife, 23, was not emotionally and intellectually mature enough to handle a loving, long-term relationship, not to mention the integrity needed to sustain a relationship. I read somewhere that the human brain doesn't fully mature until around 25 or 26. I don't know. Also, some people are more in love with the idea of marriage than the reality of it. Thank you for the update. I'm rooting for you. Please take care and embrace this next phase of your life. Like so many betrayed spouses on these forums, in a few years you will look back on this time and be thankful and grateful for the new life that you now have because of all you went through. Best of luck and keep us updated on your progress. The OP responds, Thank you for the encouragement. You are correct about her not being emotionally, intellectually mature enough. But she fooled me so well. I hate the feeling of being the training grounds for her next relationships. One of my biggest gripes was that over a year ago, while I was working on our dream, a camper van, she was flirting with this guy. She used me. Samba2NYC responds again, You may think she used you, possible covert narcissist, but who's the real fool? Anyway, what did you really lose? An emotionally stunted, immature cheater who's bound to repeat her behavior? I'm curious. You said she worked at a coffee shop and that you two did a lot of traveling. Were you the breadwinner in the marriage? Do you know what a fair partner does for a living? Will her financial situation change after the divorce? Also, not that it should matter to you either way, the odds are against them. Like the saying goes, if they cheat with you, they will cheat on you. On the other hand, if they happen to be soulmates and live happily ever after, so what? Wish them all the happiness that they deserve and keep moving on. Be glad you got out relatively unscathed. Things could have been worse. You could have had kids with her. Best of luck, man. The OP responds again, Well, I'd say that we both contributed about the same. My last job was retail, and I have been unemployed for some time. As far as I know, a fair partner looks better on paper. In his texts, he even brags how his family never had money problems. I guess that might be part of the reason she monkey branched. Honestly, I've been trying to understand her actions and I just can't. I wish I could give her forgiveness, but don't think I'll ever be able to. The hatred is real. One more response from Sampa2NYC. Yeah, that puts the monkey branching into perspective. But speaking of monkeys, not your circus, not your monkeys, as they say. Stop trying to understand her actions and simply accept that they happened and you can't change them. It is what it is. Check out the concept of radical acceptance online. It will really help you. Forgive for yourself so that you can move on. You can forgive, but you will never forget. Also, it's okay to forgive someone, yet not F with them, if you know what I mean. Hate will only eat you up while she isn't even thinking about you. Ruminating about her and the relationship is not healthy. Mourn the relationship and the person you once loved. She doesn't exist anymore. But then move on. I'm glad that you took the initiative to move away. Out of sight, out of mind. Keep pushing forward. Remember, a life well lived is the best revenge. Best of luck and keep us updated.